Obviously, end of a back-to-back, West Coast road trip. It seemed like it was getting in the guys' legs a little bit. You guys were obviously able to kind of grind out that second half, especially before you do it on the defensive end. Just what impressed with you these guys handled this?
Well, there were some inspirational plays, particularly in the second half. I thought McConnell going in and hitting 3 threes, that got our energy up. Look, this is not a team trying to find an excuse why we just can't get it done. This is a team trying to find answers and trying to find ways to make it happen, and that's what's been special about this group, even through the struggles this year. Guys have really stuck together. So, Myles tweaks his ankle, goes and gets retaped, comes in and hits the biggest shot of the game. Had some big rebounds. A lot of guys played really well, and so look, games like tonight end up being not super pretty in a lot of ways, but the beauty is in the fight and the result.
You guys had, I think, 9 field goals in the fourth. 8 of those are in the paint. You guys obviously relied on Myles and Pascal in the middle there. Just basically, how big is it to have guys like that you can go to when you're not hitting outside shots, when you can get, kind of work the ball in there and get those kind of looks?
A lot of the defenses in the NBA this year, the majority, are geared toward taking away the paint. And so you have to have a strong will to get the ball to the paint. When we've had struggles like last night in SAC, we had, we shot 12 threes before the first time out, and before our first time out, and we were 3 for 12, and we just were not attacking the rim the way we needed to. Tonight at halftime, we talked about a paint-first mindset in the second half, and really, and just simply, doing everything to gain possession of the ball. And so, we adjusted in those 2 areas well. We had low turnovers. They didn't have any points off turnovers. That's a big factor on the road.
Obviously, Drew gets the main assignment on Steph. Looked like he was basically all over him. And you guys in general obviously hold him to a pretty brutal shooting night. Just what did you like about the defense on Steph overall, but particularly, Andrew there at the point of attack?
Well, you can't measure Steph Curry's effectiveness by a shooting stat because, just him running around the court created 7 layups for them. So you can really add 7 field goals to his tally. And we made a strong commitment to him, knowing that we were going to give up some other things, and we lived with it. And so, it's a pick your poison proposition when you're dealing with a guy like that who's an assassin. So we have great respect for him. We're lucky he didn't make a few more shots. But he caused a lot of damage out there, even though it didn't look like he shot well.
What was it like playing against Buddy?
It was great. He came in the game and he was talking to everybody over there. So it was like, I'm not gonna say it's like he never left, but one thing I will say about Buddy Hield, he left an indelible impression on our franchise. The joy that he plays with. How hard he works. He had a thing before games when we would line up for the national anthem. He would go down the line and do 2 fist bumps to every guy. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And when he was traded, Obi Toppin immediately kept that tradition going. So if you watch now, Obi goes down and gives 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Really, I think as a tribute to Buddy. And and I'm happy for him. He's got a great situation here. He's playing for the great coach with great players, and he's having a hell of a year.
Obviously, you got a lot more going, coming back when you get after Christmas. But to sweep a West Coast trip that includes a back-to-back, I mean, just considering just how far this team's come so fast, and just what you say about these guys, what they've accomplished in total on this trip.
This is a big stretch for us. We're not into statements. We're trying to get a little better every day. We're a humble group, all of us, coaches, players, our support people. We all love the game. We all love the game played the right way. And so, we're almost exactly where we were last year at this time. We've got a very difficult stretch to end the month. We've got to bear down for that. But right now, we got a few hours to enjoy this. Flight home tomorrow, and then a nice Christmas, and then we'll get ready for, Oklahoma City at home and then at Boston in a back-to-back. I mean, you find me a harder back-to-back in the NBA this year than that one. But it's a great challenge, and we'll look forward to it.
Yeah. Coach.
Yes, you're here again.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
You talk about in practice, reducing turnover, high assist, and rebounding. You look at the stat today, it's neck and neck with the Warriors. So eventually, what would put us in the win? Eventually, the biggest factor.
Well, the rebounds were close. We lost by 1, but we did a good job in the turnover area, and we had points off their turnovers, which was good. And look, this is always, a great challenge to play here. This is one of the loudest buildings. A lot of buildings go crazy for dunks. These people go crazy for dunks and threes, and so it just seems like it's always going wild. And that kind of environment is what you crave as a competitor. And so our guys embraced it. Nothing was easy. We did enough to get the job done, and I'm real happy for our guys.
So you got to figure out how you're going to win, especially in a game like that when the other team is, a battle-tested team that's not going to go away. Steph hadn't made, a ton of, it only takes one shot for him to really get going, So we just have to stay connected and just figure out a way to win. I mean, when you're on a back-to-back and you just, sometimes it's ugly, but you just got to figure out a way to win. We did that, and we'll take that and go home. I'm cool with it.
You obviously were orchestrating a lot of that, trying to make sure Pascal had space to work, Myles had space to work. I mean, just what do you feel like you did well just in terms of making sure those guys had, the ball in position to score the basketball?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get them the ball in space, balance the floor for them, tell guys where to go, and then those guys will make the plays, Pascal in the mid-post. I thought Myles did a great job. We keep them in pick and roll and just kind of, being able to make timely shots all night, and that, completed with the one, on the wing. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. But, I think everybody's just staying ready and just trying to play the right way.
And just obviously how big of a shot is that by Myles? Obviously you get that review right there, and you need to make one play for him to come up with that shot like that.
Yeah.
How big has he been lately in general?
Yeah, he's been huge, man. He's been really anchoring our defense, protecting the rim, rebounding, allowing us to get out and run, making timely shots. He's just been playing really well. And I think a big reason why our defense has had an uptick and why it looks so good, as of late is because of him. It starts with him, protecting the rim, Andrew on the ball, and everybody else, we kind of just, fall into place. So, I think he's doing a really good job.
You obviously mentioned Steph not making a lot of shots. A lot of that obviously is Drew just getting up in. I mean, just what impressed you about how well Drew did on Steph in particular?
Yeah, I mean, that's, probably the toughest cover in our league, and I thought he did a great job of showing his hands, contesting every shot. We were connected all 5, understanding, to guard Steph Curry is a 5-man job, but it starts with, whoever's on him, and I thought he did a great job, and we just kind of flowed off that. So, I think we just, you kind of figure it out off that and finish possessions with rebounds, because if you allow offensive rebounds, that's where he gets his sprayed threes. And again, like I said, he sees one go in, it can get ugly. So I thought we just did a great job, and Drew did a great job showing his hands all night and defending without fouling.
What was that playing, buddy?
It was fun.
Guarding him in, the dunk was probably...
Yeah, it was fun. That's family, so to get to compete against him, I've been looking forward to it for a long time. He got a couple buckets on me, I got a couple on him, but I won, so I'm up on the bragging rights as of now, so I'll take that. And but yeah, just good to see him. Went to dinner with him last night. Like I said, that's family, so always good to see him.
That steal, I mean, did you just know that what he was going to do? Basically, I mean, it seemed like...
Oh, I knew if Buddy's checking in, the ball is going to him right away, so... I told him yesterday, I said, if you check in, I'm guarding you right away. So he got me a couple of times, but I knew all it takes is for me to get one, and I can send him the clip. So he'll get that clip from me later.
Ty, where is the confidence for you guys in the clutch? You guys had won your first 9 games in clutch, hadn't played one for a while, but down the stretch you guys were solid.
Yeah, I think down the stretch it really just comes down to connectedness, playing together, and and really when you play together for so long in the clutch, you just kind of calm down. You're going to run. And we got so many guys, and we've been together as a group for the last couple of years, and I think that experience together, haven't played many clutch games together, we know what we're going to in the game, and we know where guys are going to be. So you just figure it out. But I think, our experience together has played a big part to that.
What opens up there, basically? What do you guys think coming out? Obviously, you guys get that review in the ball back. Just take you through that play.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I've just learned just to move without the ball. I mean, it's things Steph Curry does. I mean, Buddy Hield was here and he did it, and I just kind of watch a lot of guys, and it's just it's constant movement. So in that spot, I just started in the corner, saw a side drive. Draymond had to help, pulled around him, and it was just an easy shot for me. So it was a big shot at that, but just that movement helps a lot of things.
What do you guys just feel like you did great down the stretch in general? And obviously, you seem like you guys were able to work the ball in the paint, defend basically at the end of a back-to-back. You're having a hard time making the outside shots at that point, but the way that you guys kind of, again, found a way to grind that one out. What did you like about how you guys bared down in that?
Yeah, it's just the grit, man. I mean, I think we all were a little tired, just coming off a long road trip and whatnot. But you said it. I mean, I think we went shot for a second, and we found a way to get some big stops, and ball bounced our way a couple of times, and it was cool.
What do you think you guys did well just to get the ball? You kept, you and Pascal, I think, got most of the shots in the second half, just finding a way to work it in there. What do you think you guys did well as far as moving it and to create those kind of shots?
Just finding holes within the defense. Every team guards is different. Some nights it's going to be Pascal, some nights it's going to be me, some nights it's going to be Ty, and you go down the roster. That's how talented we are. So just picking and choosing the right spots.
Steph had a tough night. Drew's a big part of that, obviously. What did you guys like about how you defended him collectively? What impressed you about Drew in particular and how he picked him up on the ball?
We say it all the time. It's not just Drew's responsibility. It's a team responsibility to guard a special player like that. So more stunts and just make life a little bit harder for him, just be physical with them. But I think Drew, took the brunt end of it, had to chase him around all night. So I think he did a great job.
Myles, during this win streak, you guys are holding opponents to about 105 points and 44% from the field. What's been the biggest turnaround defensively for you guys?
I think it's been our attitude. I think beginning of the season, we were all, myself included, kind of just worried about our offense and how we're going to score the ball. But that's one of the things we do best. So, we got to hang our hat on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to continue to keep working. I think that practice that we had during the in-season tournament stretch, whatever, was really good for us. Those days were great for us to kind of come together and get back to our identity.
You guys did a great job, you in particular, on Steph Curry. What's the challenge like that, and what goes through your mind when you're defending him?
Just to be engaged at all times. He's never not moving. I mean, he's most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball sometimes. But it was a team effort. It was all five guys flexing to the ball when he has it or actions going towards him. So we did a good job as a group. For sure.
Andrew, you guys have been so good in the clutch. At the 6-minute mark, you guys were down. What was the key to winning the game in the final 6 minutes?
I think we did a good job getting stops down the stretch, and it allowed us to push the ball, but we also kind of slowed it down a little bit and just executed. Got to our spots, understood what we need to do, got guys in the right spaces, and played confidently down the stretch.
To go back to Steph, you talked about just how much he moves. Obviously, they set a lot of screens. You got to fight through that all day. What's just the physical toll like when you have to chase him around, but also you have to get around everybody who's trying to keep you from getting there?
I'm feeling the physical toll right now. He doesn't stop moving. Like he's constantly running. He's constantly a threat. So he's in great shape, and definitely one of the toughest guards in the league. Toughest people to guard in the league.
You guys feel pretty good about how you guys are holding to 2 of 13 shooting. He doesn't usually have too many bad nights like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was how much it was us. I don't want to be like we locked up Steph Curry. He makes those types of tough shots all the time, so I'm not about to say that.
Andrew, 10 days ago, you guys were 10-15. You've now won 5 straight and 5 straight on the road. What's been the key?
Being together, playing with energy, a good spirit about us, really locking in on the defensive side of the ball and allowing that to push our transition offense and keeping the ball moving on that side of the floor.
Both on the defensive and the offensive end, obviously hitting that massive shot, but he's obviously protected the rim very well behind you guys, rebounded it pretty well. Just how big was he in this game?
It's huge. I think he brings a certain dynamic with all of the guys that we have attacking the rim. He can space the floor and gives us space to get down there and make plays. Defensively, he's been really solid, especially the last 2 games, just being a force in there, deterring shots if he's not blocking them, and kind of anchoring our defense.
You talked about getting people in the right places. It looked like you guys obviously were making a point to make sure the ball got to Myles and to Pascal in the paint and around the paint. Just how important was that piece to it, and how big is it to have guys like that you can rely on to get you shots in those circumstances?
It's always good. A lot of teams are cross-matching us, so those guys have mismatches, and the way we're pushing the ball, those early paint seals the rim, create another dynamic for us to diversify our offense.